start all my interviews off really simply here, and we'll start with you, Ollie, and it's
Yeah.
this: how are you today?
Oh, I'm great, thank you. Getting close to the weekend, even though it's only Wednesday, and since we're releasing the EP on Friday, we have a lot planned. We gonna do some cross country skiing, and we're gonna go up to our man at the record label, his vacation home, and do some sauna and stuff like that, and listen to music. So I'm pumped for the weekend. So yeah, feeling great.
God damn, amazing, Ingemar. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing good as well. I have to tell you a little thing. We had one interview earlier this evening, which was supposed to be at 6:30, and
Hmm.
I woke up on my couch at like 6:25, so I had to run and get ready real fast. But I made it in time, but it was really close. So, but now I'm woken up and sharp for this interview at least.
No worries, you're also my second in a row, so we're all good. Sticking with you, Ingemar, how has 2025 been treating you overall so far? We are in February, so we are now about what's almost 6 weeks into 2025. How's it been treating you so far?
Yeah, it's been good. We have a lot of snow where I live, up in northern part of Sweden. So we have nice weather. We got, like Olle said, we got an album coming up, so we've been working on that for a few years now, and it's finally coming together now. So yeah, 2025 is treating me well so far, at least.
And yourself, Ollie, how's it treating you?
Yeah, as Ingmar said, I mean, it's been a slow burning process putting this EP together, and it's fun now. Like you getting the test pressing for the vinyl and like stuff coming together. So that's been real fun. And also I've been on vacation. I've been to the USA and to Mexico, and saw New York for the first time. So that's been really fun. Yeah, and now back to it. We've been rehearsing a lot, so it's been fun. We got a new studio to as our you know rehearsal space, and it's 2025, and the future seems bright.
I'm very glad to hear that because you've already said, but I'll repeat it. We are a mere few days away from the release of your brand new EP, Out of the Red. It is out on February 14th through
Yeah.
Rexus Records. Valentine's Day. What a glorious treat for the couples out there to enjoy. So individually, I'm going to ask you both. I will start with you, Ollie. What do you think this EP says about Greybeards?
Yeah, I mean, we've going back to our first album, a lot of different genres. We all came together studying jazz, and maybe we'll talk more about our past and our history. And for us, like forming the way our sound, the last album was a bit more punkish, more metal, more screams, which is cool. But I feel like this album, this EP, really puts together what is us.
Hmm.
And I think, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We've done a lot of it ourselves, and we've chosen the people to work with by ourselves, guys we trust and love, and it's just been fun through it all. So I think this is the way Greybeards sound, and it sounds exactly as we intended to. So yeah, this is the way Greybeards look and sound. Yeah.
Wonderfully put. Ingemar, what can you add to that? Or have you got your own perspective on what this EP says about Greybeards?
No, I totally agree. I think this EP is like a reaction to the earlier records, sort of sound-wise and creatively. We've been had more freedom on this because we made everything ourselves. Even the artwork and everything is done by us. So the record label basically just put it up there for people to hear. So if there's any errors, it's all on us this time, but we can be proud of everything. And sound-wise, I think we've probably grown a bit as musicians. And, I think we have a wider range on this record. Like the softer stuff is softer, and the heavier stuff on the record is heavier than the previous ones. So I think this represents where we are now as people and musicians in our lives at the moment.
A great representation of who you are as of right now. And we've had a few tracks from, of course, Holy Ghost, Remember Me, and there's been a positive response to them and the music that you're creating right now. You've seen that response. How pleased are you individually with what people are saying or feeling about what you're doing right now? Start with you, Ollie.
Um, yeah, I just I just gave the test pressing to my fiance's dad, and he texted me back and said, "Yeah, we're crying because we're so proud." So, I mean, it's stuff like that that you like really, and my mom as well when we listen through it. So, and for us, I mean, the songs have been around for a while now, and I just feel like a song as "Remember Me" since we wrote it a long time ago, and it's just been, you know, in the puddle all the time, but we haven't really found the right spot for it until now. And a song that you've been playing for many years, and like now finally we're gonna make the final version of it. How do you do that and like still be satisfied? But I think we did great. I love it. I think I haven't got a single thing that I want to change. So yeah, love the response. People seem to love it. So yeah, it's awesome.
Ingemar, have you noticed a positive response, and how is it making you feel?
I think I've learned over the years to maybe not listen to what other people think about the music. Perhaps your closest friends and family maybe has an impact on what they think. But the main thing is that, like Olle said, that we are content within the band, that we're proud of everything that's on the record. And if that's not enough for other people, it doesn't really matter to us as long as we're content. But of course, it's a huge bonus if someone else like it. And the little things I've heard so far has only been positive. So I hope it stays that way.
But as long as you're satisfied, as long as you're proud of what you've done, that's more than enough, which clearly you both are.
Yeah, and I can add to that too that we decided to do an EP because I mean, since there's been quite a few years since the last album, we have had a lot of demos and a lot of songs, and but I think we decided to put these 5 songs together that we all truly love. And today, when there's so much music coming out every day, YouTube, TikTok, everything, and just to make someone listen through 10 or 12 songs on a rock and roll album is super hard. Now we put together 5 songs that we love. That's like, I don't know, 26 minutes or so. I think it's a great package for people to really listen through it, and hopefully they do.
And still, I mean, there's always the possibility and always the opportunity to find new listeners. That this EP, the tracks from this EP, might be the very first thing that anybody hears from the Greybeards. So that's itself is always exciting and fascinating in ways to see what someone who's never heard anything you've done before and is now hearing what you describe as the encapsulation of Greybeard sound.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, couple of cards time. Let's start with you, Ingemar, and you can answer first. What is a dream holiday destination for you?
Ooh, a dream holiday destination. Well, the first things that pop up in my head are palm trees and white sandy beaches. That's a bit overplayed now, I think. So I think I would like a bit more adventurous holiday. So I'm gonna say like Alaska or something. Yeah, that would be like a dream destination.
Do what? Ski? Just that kind of thing? Or isolate yourself, kind of like cabin somewhere, that kind of thing?
I will sort of already isolate myself in a cabin. Experience like true wilderness would be awesome to do once in a lifetime, at least.
Fair enough. Ollie, what about you? What would be your dream holiday destination?
Let's see. I saw New York, as I mentioned. But for me, it's also, I mean, skiing is my big passion. And we have great places to ski in Sweden, but I feel like the Rocky Mountains would be really cool. Otherwise, Svalbard has been like in my periphery for a while, and me and my girlfriend is going to Svalbard in November, so let's say Svalbard. There was a time when I dreamed about us going to, we've been touring Asia and waking up on the street after a tough night and, you know, doing all that rock and roll traveling. But we've done it a lot, and I feel like the calmer adventures are more my thing now. So yeah, let's say
It's wonderful. I hope it's wonderful there. All right, another one. We'll start with you, Ollie, then. What is the most decadent thing you've ever eaten?
Oh, most decadent thing I've ever eaten.
Probably in China.
Yeah, let's see, in China. The thing we didn't eat dogs or any stuff like that, as far as I can recall. So to be honest, I think in China the most decadent thing was like sitting in a bathtub with smoking cigarettes. That's my greatest memory. I know I actually ate a whole plate of snails in Spain this summer. So I think that that takes the price.
Why? Did they pay you?
Well, I did pay for it. But it was garlic and I wasn't sober, so you know.
Oh, there you go. Sober changes everything. Yes. Ingemar, what about you? What's the most decadent thing you've ever eaten?
Well, I remember one dinner on our China tour where we saw someone butcher a whole chicken or a hen. And basically everything was in the stew except for the meat. We couldn't find the meat, but you know, the beak and everything was in it, and the feet. So
and
that's
blood,
probably
a lot of blood.
Yeah, a lot of blood as well. So that was an experience. It was really hot as well, spicy.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you say an experience, but was it a nice experience? Do you sum up as a nice experience?
It was just super spicy, even though our guide said, no, it's not spicy. But I think we have different preferences when it comes to spice.
Different scales, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about you? What's the craziest thing you've eaten?
Oh man, I'm not, you know what? I'd have to really, I'm not a vegetarian, but I don't eat much in the way of meat at all. My goodness me, I'd have to really think. No, decadence.
You could have had a rooster stew. That was almost vegan because there was no traces of meat or anything. Even though we saw them butcher the rooster.
Oh, that's incredible. Okay, one more before we move on. What does the word happy mean to you? Start with you, Ollie.
Happy to me is waking up in the morning and feeling great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. How about you, Ingemar?
I wish I could experience that sometime.
You do your cross-country skiing. It's gonna be all right.
Yeah, I don't think when you've done something that you're sort of proud of, when you achieved something like cross-country skiing, when you made a lap around a lake or something, or like when you played a show or something, you know, that moment, it could last about an hour or a whole night, but that's probably what I associate with happy, when that nice feeling after you achieved something.
No, I get that completely. Talking about achieving something, then of course we'll turn into the EP and the music that you've created for this. When we go back to this new material, when we go back to the earliest point of its creative period, did you have a clear vision for what you actually wanted to do with this music? But either one of you can take this away.
Yeah, I can start with going back to what I said about Remember Me, because I think that's been like the starting point for this EP, because we've been loving this song and it stuck with us for such a long time. We felt like we need to make this song right, and when we felt like this is the time, I think the rest of it just came with it. You know, we've always, like as Ingemar said, we've evolved into a sound that we love, and the sound we still a really simple kind of lineup where with two guitars, orange amplifiers, big drums, big bass, like powerful vocals, and make rock and roll. So yeah, I think that's like we did our thing. But Remember Me started the whole process, definitely. I don't know about you, Ingemar. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it evolved on the way, so to speak, because
Okay.
we had a lot of different ideas for songs, and all of these songs had different demo versions, I believe. So it's been a process of sort of finding our way as we go.
I think we've been like aiming for this type of sound and this type of songs since the beginning. But
Yeah.
since our old record company wanted us to sound in a specific way, and also we've evolved as songwriters, I just felt like we've been continuing on the same path as before, but finally made it happen the way we wanted it. So, yeah.
You can clearly identify that. You can identify the point, or not necessarily the time specifically, but the point where you recognize your evolution. You recognize that you have become more comfortable in your own skins. You've evolved as a musicians and creatives, that you now know what Greybeards is, and this is what we're hearing now. You both clearly have those that point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember.
absolutely.
Yeah, I remember like the last song, all those yesterdays when I did the demo of that one, and having like a piano, really like cheesy piano ballad on like a MIDI recording, and showing that for the band, and everyone felt like, yeah, we can do something with this. I guess years ago that wouldn't work at all, but for now I think we all knew what to do and made a song out of it. So yeah, I think we just we've been playing a lot of music together. I mean, we and every rehearsal when we like from we were like 17, 18, and then until we were 25, we rehearsed many days a week, and we always began and still begin with jamming without saying a word. So I think we know pretty good where we have each other musically and personally. So yeah, and
in
that's
each
just
other's
the
heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of bands can recognize the way we make songs, that you have like small snippets of a song that you bring to rehearsal, and then the song come together when the four of you play.
Yeah, or completely fall apart if it's.
Yeah, it could be thrown in the trash also.
Yeah.
Well, those, sticking again with the sort of new material period and the stuff you were writing that would end up on this EP at the earliest stage, I mean, how experimental did you find yourselves being? Were there any points that you were you were in the rehearsal room, you're hanging out, you're writing stuff, you're doing stuff together, and that you're kind of thinking, no, this is a little bit too far away from Greybeards?
No, I mean with the last song, the piano ballad, I mean that would have been that, but no, we've never had any boundaries in that sense. It's more like me and Ingmar, like hail from a lot of metal, and this has never been a metal band, so I think maybe things can be a bit more heavier, a bit more chuggy, maybe at a certain point, and then turn into a more of a groovy track.
Right.
Especially with Nicholas, the drummer, he's a mega Beatles fan, and he has the groove and the power, and yeah, I think it just finds its way on its own. So no, but who knows? I mean, I think for our next whatever we make, but I feel like if we make a whole record, full length album, we need a couple of heavier chugging metal songs as well. So I think there's room for that, and there's room for softer stuff as well. So yeah.
You agree with that, Ingemar, that there are no particular limitations on Greybeards? Well, of course, you might have a sound and you might have a style that you kind of choose to sit within, and ultimately we probably shouldn't expect, I don't know, a black metal record, or maybe we could expect a black metal record from you in the future. But for the most part, it's an open, a clean slate. You could do what you want, provided you're all feeling it.
Yeah, it's gonna end up if you, like I said before, if you bring a song to rehearsal, it's gonna sound like Greybeards, because maybe it's because we're too bad musicians. We can only play songs in our style, so to speak. So it's gonna be what it's gonna be when we bring it to rehearsal, and that's where the magic happens, so
You
to
are
speak.
Greybeards, aren't you? You're Greybeards. So whatever you bring, it's going to eventually transform into what you want it to be. It makes sense. It makes sense to me. that particular creative period, the music that was coming out of you and that would end up on this EP, when you look back at that period in time, what are some of your strongest memories from it? Start with you, Ingemar.
Well, I think probably the pandemic is like the strongest memory of
Right.
if we, yeah, I think about the period from when we released our last album until today, probably COVID-19, as for many people.
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, it's still even now 2025 because of how the music industry works, and perhaps when you wrote music, it still hangs over us like a specter.
Yeah, and for us, I mean, just in Sweden, we there were times when we couldn't rehearse, but for the most time, we've been meeting up and we've been writing music, and as I said, I think we had another 5 songs pretty early on. But it was like this, the energy. Because for us, I don't feel like it's been 6 years since we released our last album. Because we did that, and we did quite a lot of touring in 2018 and 19. Then the pandemic came, and we were like, yeah, but let's write some songs. And I'm like still there, but it's been 4 years. So or almost 5. So yeah, it's weird. It's more like, because we were on our way to record, I think in 2021 or late 2020. But we just felt like, there was no energy anywhere. Like, why would we do it? We can't play anywhere. And like, yeah, it just felt wrong. So to me, that's like waiting for the right opportunity. And then 2 years ago, me and my friend at Rexus, we said, and we said like, but let's do it now. I think we're ready. The world is healing. We got these great songs. Let's put something great together. And from that point on, yeah, it just been fun. Yeah, for the most part.
That's the momentum coming back. The train
yeah, exactly. And the same sauna is where we decided that the same sauna we're going with the band on Friday. So yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Full circle.
All right, Ingemar, the world is going to end in 24 hours. What are you doing?
Probably going back to sleep. It's the short answer. Now, what can you do? I don't know. It's kind of weird. I think life, you would be so shocked and you couldn't really see the world ending, even if someone told you there's a asteroid coming or something. I think life would be going on as business as usual.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, if I got that news right now, I mean, tomorrow we're going.
You will go to work, I guess.
Yeah, but tomorrow we're meeting up in Gävle. We're gonna go into a hockey game. Our local team is the best in Sweden for the moment. We're gonna have some beers. Gonna have a great night. And I mean, I couldn't think of anything better.
Yeah. I wouldn't change any plans.
No, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't really. It's an impossible question because you have no idea what your mind would actually do in that scenario. You just hope, well, you'll have a good time, right? That's in some way or another. Okay. Olle, what is something you own that another person might think is strange?
It's strange. Let's see. I think I still have a taser from Thailand.
A taser.
Yeah, it looks like a cell phone. But I don't think I have the charger anymore. But I think I have it somewhere. So that would be quite strange and quite illegal, I think. So yeah.
Yeah. I think when the word strange can be used, if someone saw it, they would ask you, "What's that?" And then if they have to ask that question, it's strange. Fascinating. Ingemar, how about you, Ingemar?
Well, I got so much weird stuff at home. If we stick to music, I can play on the cow's horn, which is a traditional instrument in Scandinavia. So I have a few of those. One is from the 18th century, I think, which I bought at an auction for like £5, but I think it's worth like £500 probably.
What?
So yeah.
What a discovery. Isn't that incredible?
Yes, I got a few cow's horns that I can play on. That's quite a weird thing.
Yeah, haven't you one made for you as well?
Yeah, I had one made for me as well from a that was not from a cow, that's from a goat actually.
Hmm.
Because we used to have a lot of goats this part of Sweden
Okay.
back in the days. Yeah.
What's sticking with you, Ingemar? What's driving the forward momentum of who and what Greybeards is now?
What's driving? I think it's that we stay healthy, all the four of us, and that we have a great relationship with each other in the future as well. Because I think when you get older, those things get more important, especially if you've been in a band for 12 years. It's like an old marriage.
Hmm. Yeah,
How about
yeah, it's
you?
always been a meeting point, and like it's a part of who you are. So yeah.
That's fair enough. Ollie, what's particularly exciting right now about Greybeards? What not only what you're doing, but just how the environment is around you and how the world feels more open to you guys right now.
Yeah, this especially this past week, like doing these interviews, putting the last like Instagram post together, doing Spotify Canvas stuff, all this like different things regarding the band. It just feels like, yeah, because this is what you're dreaming about, right? Even though I mean we got normal jobs, but you always have this in the back of your mind, like I want to do music full time. So in this short period of time, there's so much going on, and that's really fun. Otherwise, like I feel like my musicianship and the band has always been like we've done something and that has ended, and then like okay, what now? And then something comes along. Um, so for now, we have a new festival this summer. It's going to be fun to play. But
Hmm.
otherwise, we have this song in Swedish that I think both me and Ingmar think is like the best thing we've ever done. So
Really?
yeah, so I feel excited about that. I don't know when we're gonna record it or if we're gonna like try to make something major out of it. Something else, who knows? Eurovision Song Contest, who knows? Uh, but I feel like that's exciting to me. And then I've been dreaming about the next album, whenever, whatever it becomes. But I just wanna, you know, take all the stuff up to Ingmar's house and like lock ourselves in for a couple of weeks and do this old school rock and roll album. And so those things makes me excited. And it could be this year or in 3 years. It doesn't matter. But it's a project.
And it's there, it's part of your future, and that's always something to focus on. That's fabulous. How about you, Ingemar?
Well, yeah, we got our EP coming out on Friday, so that's always something. And we got 100 vinyls also, which is gonna be nice to have a product that you can be proud of. And then we got a few gigs lined up, so I think right now it's a good time to be a Greybeards member, I think.
And a
Yeah.
fan as well. Let's not deny that as well.
I
It's a
hope
great
so.
time to be a fan. Okay, Ingemar, sum up what this new EP and the tracks that make it up mean to you specifically.
Well, I mentioned it before. This time we really made something that we are 100% proud of, from the first song to the last one, all through. So this is a good reflection of who we are as persons and musicians. So we're really proud.
Ollie, can you add anything to that?
No, I agree fully. Just and back to the thing, I love that the EP concept. You can run it through in 25 minutes, get the whole Greybeards experience. I'm also super proud from the first to the last second, and the lyrics as well. I mean, I put a lot of time in it, and I think it turned out great. And this is not a thing I want to change. So it just feels a big relief that like, okay, it turned out great. There's nothing I want to change. It's great. So yeah.
I love this. I love speaking to you both and hearing and feeling and hearing your enthusiasm for what you've created here because I have experience as well. But also, it's not my first rodeo with you guys, and I love the new EP. But I also love how much of an evolution it is for you. You said that it sums you up perfectly. I can't think of a better way to describe this, and I hope personally it's what listeners take away from it in each individual track. They take away the evolved state of Greybeards and how you are so much more comfortable in your own skins. But that's what I want. What do you want? So, Olle, what do you want listeners or hope listeners take away from the EP?
Well, I think Ingemar said it's the first time we've been aiming for making hit songs with distorted guitars. And if you're in hit songs and you're into rock and roll with distorted guitars, then I'm certain you're gonna love this EP.
Ingemar, what do you reckon?
Well, I hope people are gonna listen to the songs, and I think everyone can find something that they relate to, or like some hook or some song that they really like, and I hope that they're gonna think that, wow, this is something I must see live. So I hope that it inspires people to go out and listen to live music. It doesn't even have to be Greybeards, just that they go out and listen to a live band.
Go on and get some of that energy. Hell yeah. All right. What is a recent experience? Start with you, Ingemar. What is a recent experience that made you feel old?
Oh, waking up this morning, back pain, probably. Sleeping through the whole night, still feeling tired, and the pain, of course.
Olle, how about you?
Well, I watch a lot of golf, and I don't know if you do, but Scotty Scheffler, the world #1, he looks like he's 47 or so. I think he's 4 years younger than me. So yeah.
Okay. Olle, what is your earliest memory of playing a video game?
If Game Boy counts, then it's Pokemon Red on a Game Boy Color. That's my first memory. Yeah.
This is where I get the PC and hear people's ages because, of course, if you're picking up a Game Boy Color and playing Pokemon Red on it, then you are of a certain age.
Yeah. 90s kid.
Ingemar, how about you?
Well, I think my mom bought me a CD for our old Windows 95 computer, and I think it was an ice hockey game. NHL 99 was probably my earliest memory of playing video games.
Oh, how much fun. Okay, second last one. What is a skill or talent you wish you had? Start with you, Ingemar.
Oh, I wish I had. I wish I could paint better. That would be nice. Or be a better carpenter, because that would be practical.
That's a job in itself.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so much you want to learn and do. I wish I was a greater mechanic. I always loved engines and vehicles, but I've I know a little bit, but I've never mastered it. And
oh, we know. Me and the drummer knows your skills in being a mechanic.
I'm good at guessing, but yeah.
That's all you need. All right, Olle, what is the hardest thing about being in Greybeards?
Oh, tell me about it. I'm probably, I wouldn't call myself the band leader because Ingemar has the most, if Ingemar gives you the eyes, that's the rule. but I think I might come up with 1,000,000 ideas, and the rest of the guys might respond to 3 of them. So I think that's who I am, and I feel like I have to push on to make stuff happen, and eventually they do. So it's the role I'm playing, and I'm fine with it, but it can be frustrating.
Ingemar, how about you? What's the hardest thing about being in Greybeards?
Well, it's that you don't have, there's never enough money to put in on all the projects you really want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Your
yeah,
imagination.
Yeah, but as in any band that's been around for a while, I think when you start out, you're really young and you live at home, and a few years pass and people get jobs and families and house payments and stuff. So I think that's the hardest for any band that's been around for a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going away. I mean, as much as it would be lovely to find a way to fix the broken music industry so that you earned some money for the work and effort you put in, it's not going to happen. We all know that, and it sucks. But as long as you're enjoying it, that's what matters, I guess, the most at this stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lastly, let's go back around the room. Olle, a realistic goal that you would like to achieve within Greybeards before this year is over. You know, we're at the 12th of February today, so there's a fair bit more to go the year. What's a realistic goal you would like to achieve before the end of the year?
I mean, to be honest, I feel like we've always been playing on the level that we deserve to have like major tours in a way, but we have never really known how to do it. And with our last record company, they kind of worked in the wrong direction. I think we had a chance and we had the financial support from them, but they had the wrong ideas. So in that sense, I feel like it's a realistic goal to like maybe get us, be invited to some form of Swedish prize, the Grammys, something like that. The way is that I want to say that's the goal. Get one of the Swedish nominee things, even though it might not be realistic, but I think we're good enough for it. So I'm gonna say that get nominated for a major prize in Sweden.
Oh yeah. How about you, Ingemar? What's a realistic goal you would like to achieve before the year's over?
Well, we ordered 100 vinyls, so a realistic goal would be to sell every one of those, which I hope we can do. And I think we might, depending on how much we play this year live, because that's when you sell merchandise, right?
Of course.
For the most part. So I think that's a realistic goal, to sell all the 100 LPs or EPs, sorry.
Yeah. And they do look amazing as well. So, I mean, people can put them on the wall.
Yeah, they don't even have to listen.
just buy and put them on the wall. It's a nice picture up there. Fingers crossed that happens and that you get out and about more and more this year, and that momentum just keeps on building, because of course Out of the Red is out on Friday the 14th of February, Valentine's Day, for Rexus Records. And it's a wonderful EP, and I really appreciate you both taking the time to sit here and speak with me. Thank you, gents, so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you.
Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It does help us out. You can find us at gbhbl.com and across all social media platforms. And if you really want to give us a bit of extra support, please consider buying us a cup of coffee over on our coffee page. Thank you.